welcome to Plant Fit Meg. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I hope you'll take a look around at some other videos while you're here. I make videos about healthy weight loss, simple plant-based recipes, and living a healthy lifestyle. Today I'm sharing my Mary's Mini Challenge haul. So some items I had on hand already, and most of it is items that I purchased today in anticipation for the Mary's Mini Challenge. And if you haven't watched my previous video, I will link it right here so you can check it out. But it basically goes into what a Mary's Mini is and what it entails, and that I will be hosting a Mary's Mini Challenge from October 1st until October 7th. So feel free to join in on that. I would love to have you join in and participate. And if you happen to be watching this video in the middle of that time or at a later date, that's okay. You can do your own Mary's Mini Challenge if you like, and I'd still like to see your posts, and you can tag me and let me know that you decided to try the Mary's Mini. If you are joining in, let me know which starch you chose. Leave it in the comments section below. I'm curious to see what everyone else is choosing. I chose potatoes, so I'm just gonna jump right into this haul with probably the most obvious item, potatoes. So I bought this 10-pound bag of yellow potatoes. Very excited to dig into it. I love potatoes so much. So I think it'll be really fun to experiment, and like I said in my other video, sort of keep things simple, but at the same time sort of play and experiment with different things. So this will be my starting point for potatoes. I'm not sure if I'll need to buy more potatoes during the challenge, but I'll try to keep you updated. It might not be super accurate with what I'm purchasing versus what you will need because of personal differences, and also just because my husband and my son will also be eating the potatoes. So, and I don't have a great way of splitting it up and keeping a super close eye on what I'm consuming versus what they're consuming, but I'll give you guys a general idea just so that you know along the way if you're curious. All right, coming up next, fresh produce, whole bunch of it. So I grabbed some baby spinach. I also grabbed some kale. Really excited to make some mashed potatoes with spinach or kale mixed in. Anything I mentioned that I have recipes for already, either in a video format or on the website, I'll link them below. So check out the description box below if you're curious about anything that I mentioned in the video. But yeah, mashed potatoes with greens, a great way to get greens in, and it'll be perfect for this challenge. I also grabbed an eggplant and a couple of zucchinis, a head of cauliflower, a bunch of broccoli, some Brussels sprouts. Might be a little hard to see what's in there, but it is Brussels sprouts. And I already had some carrots on hand as well. And so with all of these items, I'm thinking I'll probably roast some vegetables. So roast some potatoes along with the eggplant, the cauliflower, broccoli, maybe even some zucchini in there, and the carrots, and mix it up with some spices and roast it. I think that'll be really, really delicious and simple, just kind of a one sheet pan sort of meal. With the zucchini, I'm also thinking that I might try to do a potato noodle at some point. So do zucchini noodles along with a potato noodle, which I've never tried before, so it might be fun to experiment with. And the peppers I'll be using for my hash browns, along with the greens and the potato. Unfortunately, I've been unable to find shredded potatoes in store, like the frozen hash browns that I see a lot of people on YouTube enjoying and trying. I either can't find shredded potatoes at all in the shops near me, or they have oil in them and other stuff. So I'm still on the lookout for that. So if I'm able to find some frozen ones, I might play and experiment with that. And if I can't find the frozen, then I'll just grate my own potatoes using my box grater. So there are a few standard vegetable items that we always keep in the freezer on hand for when we run out of fresh or we need something to whip up really quick. So we always keep broccoli around. We always keep riced cauliflower on hand. as well as Brussels sprouts. Yum. So we have all of those as options as well. I'm thinking particularly for breakfast, just to make a really quick breakfast meal, have my steamed potatoes batch prepped ready to go, and then enjoy some Brussels sprouts and or broccoli alongside it with different sauces or spices or dressings, sauces, that kind of stuff to jazz it up and make it a bit of a different meal every day, even though I'll be eating a lot of the same types of foods. On that note, I wanted to mention a couple of pantry items that we always have on hand as well. So one is diced tomatoes. We grab these at Costco, but you can get them pretty much anywhere. We grab the salt-free version. We also have tomato paste on hand, which adds a really lovely tomato flavor to any dish. And we use it for our barbecue sauce, which I know I'm gonna be making barbecue sauce for this challenge. And our favorite salsa, I've mentioned this before, it's the Herdez brand salsa. So delicious. It tastes really fresh, even though it's a shelf-stable salsa product. It's not sold in the refrigerated section, but it tastes super fresh. It's really, really yummy, really minimal ingredients, super delicious. So check this out if you can find it in your area. But any salsa would be great for this challenge. I'm thinking of maybe doing potato tacos without the wrap, like a deconstructed bowl situation, or making some kind of chili but without beans. That seems a little odd. So anyway, it'll be fun to experiment and play with and see what I can come up with. I also wanted to share spices and kind of seasoning, flavoring items that I'm going to use during the challenge. These are things that I know I'm going to use pretty much 100%. I'm fairly sure that I'm going to use them. Obviously, for your challenge, you don't have to use the same items and the same spices, but this is just what I know that I really enjoy, and I'm fairly confident that I'm going to use pretty much all of them, if not all of them, during the challenge. And they're items that I already have on hand, so if you're just building up your spice cupboard and your spice rack, you might want to start small and just grab maybe 2 or 3 spices to start with. Something like a seasoning blend can be helpful to use. There's tons of salt-free Mrs. Dash style seasonings that are really helpful. I really enjoy everything bagel seasoning. I've taken to putting this on top of my potatoes. I have a potato chip recipe with these on top, really good. I'll leave it linked below. Delicious. This one happens to have a little bit of salt in it, but there are salt-free varieties available as well. I believe Well Your World has a salt-free version that you could check out. I haven't tried it, but you could give it a go. Another great one to start with is garlic powder. It's a staple. I use it very often, and it just adds that delicious garlic flavor. And talking about this actually reminded me that I also have fresh onion and fresh garlic in my pantry as well. I didn't purchase them today, so I forgot about them, but I do have those on hand as well to use in cooking while I'm doing the challenge. So a few other spices and seasonings that I know I'm gonna use are smoked paprika, chili powder, and nutritional yeast. So the smoked paprika and chili powder I like to use for potato chips when I'm seasoning up my baked potato chips. Those are really nice to use. And they're nice to just sprinkle over the top of potatoes too, if I just steam up some potatoes or mash. Really yummy, really tasty. The nutritional yeast, we just buy the Bob's Red Mill nutritional yeast, and then I put it in this shaker container so I can just sprinkle a little bit on the top of my food. I know for sure I'm also going to be using Italian seasoning. I might use it in my hash browns, or I might use it when I'm roasting vegetables. Super delicious. My seasoning blend has marjoram, thyme, rosemary, sage, oregano, and basil. So Italian seasonings will differ slightly, but they will have those kind of flavors in them, and it's really delicious, really easy. And then you don't have to worry about combining multiple spices together unless that's something that you enjoy doing. And the last spice that I'll mention that I'm thinking of using is curry powder. And I do have a really simple mishmash meal that just has a few ingredients, super duper simple, and it includes curry powder. And I'm thinking I might substitute the chickpeas in it for potatoes and pump it up, jazz it up with some onion and garlic and greens and mix it all together. And I think that would be really delicious. I might give that a go. I also should have mentioned other condiments that I do have on hand. I do have ketchup and mustard and hot sauce. I always have hot sauce on hand. If you guys have been watching the channel, you'll know that I love Frank's Red Hot. So I do have those items on hand already. And in my batch cooking video, I'm sure I will make a few sauces or dressings. So stay tuned for that. I also do have fruit on hand. I always keep fresh and frozen fruit in the house. So I do have bananas, apples, I have some blueberries and raspberries and mango, I believe, in my freezer as well. So it's only one piece of fruit per day. So I'll be playing with how I'm gonna make that work because I'm used to eating more fruit in a day, but it'll be a fun challenge and I think I'll be able to do it and manage it and make it work. I also wanted to mention something quick about Mary's Mini in terms of mindset. And I think some people are kind of going into the challenge thinking that they're gonna have to really white knuckle it and it's gonna be really difficult and I won't be able to do the one piece of fruit a day, or I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stick with it. And some people are getting a little bit worked up or a little bit stressed about it. And it is sort of a difficult challenge depending on where you're coming from with your eating habits and your routines and stuff like that. But I wanna reassure you that it's not a pass-fail sort of thing. If you do happen to go off track during the challenge, just come right back on track, right? Or if you want to set slightly different parameters for yourself with, for example, with the fruit, I've had a lot of questions about that. If you want to make it 2 pieces of fruit a day for yourself and that you think that will be more workable and more reasonable to do, then I'm all for you going ahead and making it work for you. If you're making just a slight tweak and you still want to be joining in on the challenge, that's amazing. And I always encourage you to do what works for you. So go ahead and make little tweaks if you want or need to, either before the challenge or during the challenge if you're really struggling or really having a hard time. As always, be kind to yourself and do what works for you. So that's my starting point for my challenge, my haul of delicious foods. I'm really, really excited for this challenge. I have so many ideas that I'm trying to narrow things down and sort of focus and okay, some meals will have to be really simple and just thrown together really easily. And then at other times I'll have more time to figure out different recipes or experiment or play with things. So stay tuned for my next video, which will be my batch cooking video where I show you how I'll prepare a few items in advance for the first few days of the challenge so that I'm prepped and ready to go and I have a few things that are just ready in the fridge. Easy go-tos. I'm also thinking of doing another live show video on Sunday, October 2nd as sort of a Q&A about Mary's Mini or about whatever you guys want to ask me questions about, and just as a fun hangout so we can sort of talk about how the mini is going so far. We'll just be a couple days in at that point and sort of the game plan for moving forward for the next few days. So let me know if you'd like a live show on October 2nd. I'm considering it, so let me know if that is something that you're interested in or not. And also I did premiere my last video, so I set up a premiere time so that we could watch the video at the same time and I could be in the chat box chatting with you guys while we watched it together, so you could ask questions and we could chat and interact. And it was a really fun way to get connected with you guys in a different way. So let me know if you enjoy the premiere function on YouTube, and or if you have questions about it or you're not sure quite what it is if you haven't seen it before. But that was fun to connect with you guys in that way and have you ask questions. And I might not do premieres for every video, but if you do enjoy them, I can try to do those here and there as well, which can be a nice way for me to connect with you guys. I'm super excited to start the challenge. If you like this video, remember to give it a like and subscribe to the channel below if you haven't already. Hit the little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video, particularly if you're joining in on the challenge and you want all of the updates as I go through and figure it out. Some people have asked whether I've done a Mary's Mini Challenge before, and no, I haven't. This is my first Mary's Mini Challenge. I've never done one before, but I'm very excited to do the potato mini and to have you guys join in either on the potato mini or with a different starch. You can always tag me on social media at PlantFitMeg, hashtag Mary's Mini Challenge, and or hashtag Mary's Mini with Meg, so I can see what you guys are doing as well. You can always leave comments here on YouTube and or message me on Instagram or Facebook to let me know how you are doing with the challenge if you are joining in. And if you're not joining in, that's okay too. Feel free to watch these videos for entertainment and maybe some recipe ideas and just for fun. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day and I will talk to you soon. Bye.